I can't believe what's happening at Hollis Hall right now. Three explosive news items that will change everything we thought about this season. The head coach just dropped a BOMB about the offensive line that has Chicago in a panic. Our star receiver is still Mia when we need them the most, and Caleb Williams. Folks, what I'm going to tell you about our future quarterback will leave you speechless. Stay right there because this is just getting started. Chicago isn't playing, but what's happening at the training camp has me completely crazy. After years of watching this team struggle with questionable decisions, we finally have a head coach doing things differently. But folks, some of this news genuinely has me worried. Let's start with something I never thought I'd see in Chicago. Ben Johnson just confirmed that we have the most intense battle in years for a position that can make or break Caleb Williams' success. Remember when we thought positions were set in stone regardless of performance? I'm telling you this, those days are over. Johnson, with that brutal honesty I love, admitted something that gave me goosebumps. I can't tell you I've been in a three-man race before. Do you realize the magnitude of this? We have Braxton Jones, who has held that position for 3 full seasons, starting 40 games since coming in as a 5th-round pick in 20-20-2. But here's the crazy part. Their job is in real danger. And do you know why this is critical for Chicago? Emphasis, because we're talking about protecting Caleb Williams' blind side, our franchise quarterback who last year, and this pains me to say, got sacked 68 times, the most in the NFL. 68 times our future ended up on the ground, folks. That can't happen again. Jones comes into this battle with a left ankle fracture suffered in December. And though they're back, they've had limited reps while recovering. Meanwhile, Kieran Amagaji, our 3rd-round pick, is finally healthy after missing almost all of last year's training camp with a quad injury. Their first start came in December against Minnesota. And let's be honest, they struggled. But Johnson said they needed to rebuild their confidence and technique thought. And then there's Ozzie Trapelo, our 2nd-round pick from Boston College. This guy is impressing everyone. Ryan Poles described him as reliable and a technician. And their college stats are impressive. Only 5 penalties in 3 seasons as a starter. That's discipline, folks. But here's what has me most excited. Johnson is handling this competition with the patience and seriousness it deserves. By week 1, we'll know exactly who our 5 starters are going to be, he said. If it takes 3 weeks, great. If it takes 6 weeks to figure it out, no problem. Do you believe this competition is exactly what Chicago needed? I think so, because for years we've seen positions that seemed untouchable no matter the performance. Now Johnson is sending a clear message. Nitrogen monoxide 1 has their spot guaranteed, but that's nothing compared to what's coming. And when you thought surprises were over, Luther Burden 3, our rookie receiver who has everyone thrilled, is still missing from training camp. And folks, every day that passes is one less day to integrate into Johnson's offense when we need it. The most. Johnson updated the situation this morning with words that left me cold. We had high hopes they'd be ready for day 1 of training camp, but the soft tissue injury they were dealing with in the spring took a bit longer than we wanted. It's really day-to-day with them. Do you know when this saga began? 2 months ago in May? Burden missed all OTAs in June because of the same issue. Ryan Poles tried to calm us, saying, no major concerns with Luther Burden. They were dealing with a soft tissue issue in the spring. But here's my big concern, and as a Chicago fan who has seen this before in the modern NFL, chemistry between quarterback and receiver is crucial. Remember when Alshon Jeffrey and Brandon Marshall dominated? Because they knew every movement of each other. THAT is built in practices. Folks, every rep counts. Every route run together builds that telepathic connection that separates good offenses from the elite. And while Burden is on the sideline recovering, other receivers are building that chemistry. With Caleb Williams that they need to develop. Can you imagine if Burden had been healthy during OTAs? We probably have a clear idea of how Johnson plans to use them in their offensive scheme. Instead, we're waiting. Crossing our fingers they can quickly integrate once they're backed up. My biggest fear, and this pains me to say, is that this injury turns into one of those it's nothing serious, but keeps dragging on. We've seen this before in Chicago, seemingly minor injuries that end up costing weeks or months of crucial development. Are you all worried about the time burden is losing to build chemistry with Williams? I'm telling you we should be, because time waits for no one in this league. But here comes the really crazy part. And if you thought that was it, you're crazy. This is the news that hurts me the most to report. But as I always tell you, here we speak the truth, even if it hurts. The Bears' offense, with Caleb Williams at the helm, is showing discouraging signs in these early days of training camp. The reporters who have been at Hollis Hall have been brutally honest about what they've seen. And folks, it's not pretty. Friday's practice was particularly hard to witness, with multiple reporters detailing just how complicated things got. Courtney Cronin from ESPN described it like this: Caleb Williams and the starters reverse a tough red zone 7/7 period with consecutive completions to Rome Oduns and Darnell Mooney in 11-11s. Lots of sticky coverage from the Bears' DBs near the goal line. Do you realize what this means? Our offense is struggling against our own defense. And while internal competition can make both units better, it's also true that we should be seeing more offensive progress by now. Williams did manage 2 touchdown passes during team drills, finding Rome Oduns, which shows us that chemistry between these 2 top 10 picks is growing. That's encouraging, but Johnson wants to see more efficiency from his offense. Now, before we go into full panic mode. And as a Chicago fan who has seen too many false dawns, we need to remember a few important factors. They've only had 3 training camp practices. Johnson is installing a completely new and dynamic system, which will take time to learn. But here's my genuine concern. After all the hype Chicago received during the offseason, after all the expectations we put on this team, seeing these early struggles is like a bucket of cold water to the face. Remember when we thought Mitchell Trubisky was the answer after that 12-4 season in 2018? I think we all learned to be cautiously optimistic after that. The offensive line has a new look with the left tackle battle, but they need to learn to play together. Johnson is figuring out the hierarchy of the aerial attack, but hasn't had Luther Burden 3 at his disposal. The head coach is still discovering what works and what doesn't in the Windy City. And here's the most important factor we all need to remember. The pads aren't out yet. Once the Bears are in full action, it'll be clear where they really stand. Do you think these struggles are just normal growing pains? Or is there real cause for concern? I'm telling you this, it's better to discover these problems now in July than in September when it really matters. Bear Nation, after analyzing these 3 explosive news items, let me be completely honest about what I see. The news that excites me the most, the left tackle battle, because it represents the kind of competitive mentality this team has needed. For years, Johnson isn't handing out positions. The news that worries me the most, Williams struggles, because our success depends on how well our offense functions. The most critical news, Burren's absence. Because every lost day is chemistry that isn't being built. But here's the reality. It's July. It's training camp. These problems can be solved. Johnson has time. He has the tools. He has the talent. Now he needs to make it all fit. Right. Now, I need to know what you think. Are you worried about the left tackle battle, or do you think this competition will strengthen our offensive line? Let me know in the comments if you prefer experience with Jones or youth with Trapelo and Amagaji. Does Luther Burden 3's absence have you as uneasy as I am? Or do you trust that Rome Oduns and DJ Moore can carry the offense while he recovers? Write if you think we should be more concerned about this injury. And the million-dollar question, are Caleb Williams' early struggles just part of the learning process? Or are there real alarm signs we should be seeing? I want you to tell me exactly what you expect to see from Williams in the next practices. Bear Nation. This channel is more than news. We're a family that lives and breathes navy blue and orange together. Every like, every comment, every subscription makes us stronger as a community. If these news items have you as excited and worried as I am, give ITA like right now. If you want to be the first to know when we have updates on Burden, Williams, or that epic left tackle battle, subscribe and hit that bell because I guarantee that tomorrow we'll have more explosive news that will change everything we think about this season. And Bears fans, share this video because I know you have friends and family who need to stay updated on everything happening at Hollis Hall. Remember, in Chicago, we don't play, and in this channel, we don't either. We are the most honest and passionate voice of the Bears on YouTube. And together, we'll follow every move until we lift that Lombardi trophy that this city deserves. See you in the next video. And remember, bear down always.